Vanishing Folklore and Beliefs. The Coal Black Steed. Public domain reading. Circa 1918. Late one night, a bright, quiet moonlight night, old Dame Mole lay snugly sleeping in her bed, when suddenly wakened by a noise like a rushing storm. The next minute there came a loud rap, rap, rap at her cottage door. Startled and frightened, she sprang out of bed and opened the door but a crack. "Don't be afraid, good woman," said a squeaky voice. "Open wide, open wide." So she opened the door a bit wider and saw a strange, squint-eyed, ugly little fellow standing on the door stone. Somehow the look in his eyes seemed to cast a spell over her and made her willy-nilly, and she opened the door very wide. "My wife has sent for you, good woman," said he. "You must come with me and bathe and dress our new-born child." "Your wife?" thought the poor dame. "Heaven defend me. Sure as I live, I am going to care for a little imp?" But she could not refuse to go, for the spell in the little man's eyes drew her near, and she was forced to walk toward a coal-black steed that stood snorting before the door. Its eyes were red-hot balls, and its breath was like smoke. And how Dame Mole got to the place she could never tell, but suddenly she found herself set down by a neat but poor cottage, and saw two tidy children playing before the door. In a minute she was seated in front of a roaring hearth fire, washing and dressing a small baby. But a very active and naughty baby it was, though only an hour old, for it lifted its fist and gave the good dame such a rousing box on her ear that it made her head ring. "Anoint its eyes with this salve, my good woman," said the impish mother, who was lying in a neat white bed. So Dame Mole took the box of the salve and rubbed a bit on the child's eyes. Why not drop a bit of this salve on my own eyes, thought she, since this must be elven ointment. So she rubbed her finger over her right eye, and oh yea, powers of fairyland, what did she see? The neat but homely cottage had become a great and beautiful room. The mother, dressed in white silk, lay in an ivory bed. The babe was robed in a silvery gauze, and the two older children who had just come into the cottage were seated one on either side of the mother's pillow. But they too were changed, for now they were little flat-nosed imps, who, with mops and mows, and with many a grin and grimace, were pulling the mother's ears with their long hairy paws. When Dame Mole saw this, she knew that she was in a place of enchantment, and without saying a word about having anointed her own eye, she made haste to finish dressing the elven babe. Then the squint-eyed little old fellow once more placed her behind him on the coal-black steed, and away they went sailing through the air, and he set her down safely before her door. On the next market day, when Dame Mole was selling eggs, what did she see but the little old fellow himself, busied like a rogue, stealing some things from each of the market stalls. "Oh, ho!" cried she, "I've caught you, you little thief!" "What?" exclaimed he. "Do you see me today?" "See you To be sure I do, as plain as the sun in the sky, and I see you very busy, stealing into the bargain." "And with which eye do you see me?" said he. "With my right eye, to be sure," answered Dame Mole. "The ointment, the ointment!" exclaimed the little man. "Take that for meddling with what did not belong to you." And he struck her in the eye as he spoke. And from that day to this old Dame Mole has been blind in her right eye, and surely it served her right for stealing the fairy ointment. If you enjoyed this story, take a moment and share it, and take a moment and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much for listening.